Welcome to the video. A few days ago, Trump kidnapped Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, and this action can change everything. Trump supporters are saying that now finally Venezuela will become a great nation, while critics of Trump are saying that now Venezuela will become a failed state just like Afghanistan and Iraq. So let's find out who is right, what happens to Venezuela now, and why did Trump kidnap Nicolas Maduro. So Trump has finally done it. After months of putting up various US military assets near Venezuelan coast, Trump captured Maduro and his wife and took them out of Venezuela to the United States. While America struck various military bases of Venezuela, special forces of United States went into Maduro's home and took him out. In this American military operation, 40 people died, including civilians, according to a senior Venezuelan official. Trump posted this picture on his social media showing Maduro being taken out of Venezuela by US forces. Here Maduro is being prep walked.
Good night. Happy New Year.
And he is wishing people Happy New Year, even after being arrested. So now coming to the question, why did United States under Trump attack a sovereign nation and kidnap its main leader, Nicolas Maduro? Well, as Trump said in this post that he will hold a news conference about this military operation. In this news conference, Trump explained why he captured Maduro. This was near the end of the press conference. Trump's answer here explains why Trump really took out Maduro and struck Venezuela.
We're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil because we're sending our expertise in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. And that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country.
So Trump said that he would take oil as reimbursement for the damages caused by Venezuela. Now what does this mean? Has Venezuela damaged America in any way? No. Trump will estimate any arbitrary amount of damages caused by Venezuela and loot Venezuela's huge oil reserves for the benefit of him and his allies. Trump gave another reason for this action at the start of this press conference, saying that Venezuela exports a lot of drugs to United States, which has caused a huge drug crisis in America. Well, according to experts, Venezuela plays a very minor role in trafficking drugs that reach the United States, and there are other countries far more responsible for the drug crisis in America. So instead of targeting them, why would Trump capture Maduro? Well, the real reason is that Trump was lying. Trump has also recently pardoned Honduran ex-president who was convicted of drug crimes. He was a high-profile drug trafficker who exported cocaine to the United States. This shows that Trump does not really care about drug crimes. And this was most probably an excuse for targeting Maduro. Venezuela also has the biggest oil reserves on the planet. Venezuela's oil reserves are even bigger than Saudi Arabia's. According to various international law experts, Trump has likely violated the terms of the UN Charter, which was signed in October 1945 and was designed to prevent another conflict on the scale of the Second World War. But now the question remains that after Trump took out Venezuela's most powerful person, Nicolas Maduro, what happens to Venezuela now? Is there going to be more military action against Venezuela? Trump said that he would take Venezuela's oil. So without military action, how would he take Venezuela's oil? Well, right now the Vice President of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, is in charge. But Donald Trump has said that he would run the country until there is a proper transition of power. Well, regarding the topic of what happens next in Venezuela, many contradictory statements have come out of Trump's and his allies' mouth. So we cannot really take Trump or his allies' words at their face value. And I don't think that the Trump administration has any proper plan to what happens next in Venezuela. They are probably thinking about the next strategies and actions against Venezuela right now. Many people expected Trump to install Maria Corina Machado as the next leader of Venezuela. In the recent months, Machado has tried very hard to get the support of Donald Trump behind her. She has echoed Trump's rhetoric, she has praised Donald Trump, and she has also dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. But even after all of this, it seems like Trump does not support her. When Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked by a reporter that why are they not working with Machado, he replied that the vast majority of the opposition of Venezuela is no longer present inside Venezuela. United States has short-term issues which have to be addressed right away. According to an NYT report, the Trump administration has signaled that it would accept Vice President Delcy Rodriguez as Venezuela's interim leader. They view her as a workable option. Now, in reality, Trump and his allies would have preferred Machado as Venezuela's leader, but taking out and kidnapping Maduro is very different from enacting a total regime change in Venezuela. A regime change is a very difficult task, and replacing Delcy Rodriguez with Machado would have been a very difficult task because Maduro's party and people loyal to Maduro hold a lot of power in Venezuela. Trump would have had to put a lot of troops in Venezuela to do a regime change and install Machado as the leader of Venezuela. A regime change operation in Venezuela would have taken a lot more US resources, and US troops would have probably suffered major casualties. United States has tried to do regime change in Iraq and Afghanistan, but they went horribly wrong. So it seems like Trump does not want to repeat those mistakes, at least not right now. In Vietnam and Chile too, due to the regime change operations, people of those countries have suffered a lot. It does not seem like Trump and his allies have a long-term plan, and if Rodriguez gives them what they want from Venezuela, Trump and his allies would probably be more than happy and they would not take further military actions against Venezuela. But if Rodriguez does not cooperate with Trump, then God knows what Trump will do next. Maybe he will take more military actions against Venezuela, or maybe he will get bored and move on to the next thing. And this will all be a publicity stunt. Many people, including some Venezuelan refugees, have praised Trump for his actions in Venezuela. But this seems very short-sighted because it is very obvious from Trump's statement and actions that Trump does not really care about Venezuelan people, and Trump is in it to loot Venezuela's oil and natural resources or to reduce the influence of China and Russia in Venezuela. Now, Maduro was an authoritarian person, no one will deny that. But Trump did not do this for the benefit of Venezuelan people. He did this for oil. He said it himself, Venezuela will pay America for the damage it has caused. If Trump cared for Venezuelan people, he would at least say that he wants Venezuela to be governed democratically and that Venezuelan people should decide what happens to their country and their natural resources. For now, it seems like the recent action taken by Trump did not really change much for the Venezuelan people, but for Trump and his allies, they just now have a more workable person to deal with as Venezuela's leader. Now maybe in future Trump takes more military action and somehow destroys the current government of Venezuela and replace it with a better one, but for now that situation does not seem to be very likely. And with regime change operations, there is also the risk that the situation of Venezuelan people will be even more worse. If a massive US invasion of Venezuela takes place, it will claim a lot of Venezuelan lives. It will destroy Venezuelan infrastructure. It can destabilize Venezuela and even break it into many pieces, none of which will be good for Venezuelan people. Because of Trump's actions, the chances of Venezuela getting actual democracy is not very likely, but still it can happen. It will depend on what happens in future. And if instead of aiming for Venezuela's oil, Trump tries to actually help Venezuelan people. Now, should another country, just because they have more military and economic might, have the right to decide what happens in another sovereign nation is another question. Another reason why the praise of Trump's actions by these people does not make a lot of sense is that the biggest reason for the economic suffering of the Venezuelan people is the United States. United States has placed Venezuela under severe sanctions. Because of sanctions against Venezuela by the United States and European Union, other countries cannot normally participate in trade with Venezuela, and this has led to severe economic downturns for Venezuela's economy. If other countries want to help Venezuelan people, enforcing a regime change is a very risky option. It can lead to destruction of Venezuela, it can destabilize Venezuela, it can cause massive losses for Venezuela, or maybe it can actually bring democracy and economic prosperity for Venezuela. All of these things can happen, and doing successful regime change is very difficult. But if United States and European Union remove their sanctions against Venezuela, it will really help Venezuela's economy, and it will also help Venezuelan citizens a lot. It will greatly improve their standard of living and bring major benefits to the lives of ordinary Venezuelan people. But Trump will not do this. Why? Because he only cares about himself and his allies. If he removes sanctions against Venezuela, he will not get any benefit. But if he steals Venezuela's resources, he will benefit a lot. If Trump actually wanted to help Venezuelan people, he would just remove sanctions against Venezuela. And it would have really helped Venezuelan people. Removing sanctions against Venezuela would have also really improved diplomatic relations between Venezuela and America. The only downside would be that the current government in Venezuela would gain more power. But if Trump really wanted to help Venezuelan people, this was the safest and the most sure shot way of helping them. Recently, according to a report, Venezuelans sent by Trump to El Salvador endured systematic torture. If Trump actually cared about Venezuelans, he would not have sent these people to El Salvador. If these Venezuelans committed any crimes, they would have been tried and given appropriate legal punishments in the United States of America itself. Trump has also ended deportation protections for 300,000 Venezuelans residing in America. If Trump cared about Venezuelans, he would not have ended deportation protections against them. Trump would have given Venezuelan people refugee status for trying to escape Maduro's rule and seeking shelter in United States. All of these actions prove that Trump does not care about Venezuelan people. He only cares about himself and his allies. Now Trump says that he would run Venezuela, but this does not seem to be true. As for this to happen, United States would have to launch much bigger military operations inside Venezuela. And Donald Trump often lies and exaggerates things. So only time will tell whether Trump was lying or not. Maduro and his wife were charged with weapon and drug offenses, and they will be on trial in New York. There are so many contradictory statements coming out of Trump, it's insane. For example, US officials have indicated that they were not planning any further military intervention in Venezuela, but Trump said that we are not afraid of boots on the ground in response to a question about deploying US troops there. Trump also said that he would run Venezuela. Trump also said that US oil companies would move into Venezuela and fix infrastructure and start making money for the country. Trump also said that US would sell Venezuela's oil to other countries. Venezuela's government has said that Trump did this attack to seize Venezuela's resources, particularly its oil and minerals, and that they are breaking the political independence of Venezuela. When reporters asked Trump that who will run Venezuela, Trump said that we are going to be running it. But Trump lies and exaggerates a lot. So to get reality of what is happening next, it would be more wise to see other Trump allies like Marco Rubio and see what they are saying to understand what is going to happen to Venezuela next. Trump's Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio said that we are going to make decisions based on Venezuela's actions and their deeds in the days and weeks to come. I think Marco Rubio is telling the truth. And right now, they will try working with Maduro's Vice President Rodriguez and see how much he cooperates with USA. USA will decide on their next options by seeing the behavior of Venezuela's next leader. Now the question is, how has the world reacted? Russia said that US committed an act of armed aggression and this was deeply concerning and condemnable. China's foreign ministry said that US should release Maduro and his wife at once and they should stop toppling the government of Venezuela. Iran said that US actions are a flagrant violations of the country's national sovereignty. Cuba's president said that Trump did a criminal attack. Colombian president said that Trump did an assault on the sovereignty of Venezuela. Although Trump's ally in Argentina, Javier Milei, said that freedom moves forward and long live freedom. UN Secretary General said that he was deeply concerned that the rules of international law have not been respected. EU's top diplomat, Kaja Kallas, said that Maduro lacks legitimacy and that there should be a peaceful transition of power, but said that the principles of international law must be respected. If anything major happens regarding Venezuela again, I will keep updating all of you. If you found this video interesting, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching. And for now, we should hope that the Venezuelan people get better economical and political conditions.